Hello, how you doing? This is the Morning Garden Show, and I just got went out on my property and was going to cut some grass. I saw my neighbor out there cutting his, and I discovered when I was walking in the direction of my neighbor, um, the fronts of my shoes were getting wet. We had a lot of rain here earlier, and I said, "Well, it's not dry yet. I'm going to have to call it." And so I did, and I said, "I'm not going to cut in the cold, wet grass." So I'll wait until tomorrow and hopefully it'll be dry and I can cut it. Everyone starts out strong in the beginning of the year cutting grass. That's most of the neighbors in most places. But um, it's just a beautiful thing, to cut your grass and then look at it later and see it all neat, trimmed up and everything. I enjoy seeing it. Um, what is going on new today with me? Um, what's going on new with me today is that I put in a lot of seeds today, and I feel good about that. But I'm trying something new, and I was hoping uh, that I could find video on the subject of growing melons because I like to watch videos about growing melons. Wasn't a lot out there. Most people, I like to watch the some of the I call them professional farmers because they actually do this for a living, and they have to do it in order to keep a check coming in the house to pay the BG&E or gas electric. Um, so that being said, I am definitely looking at the possibility of growing quite a bit of food this year. Now, there's seeds I couldn't find today. My pumpkin seeds. I better look for those. Yeah, because I have another container just perfect for the pumpkin seeds. Yeah, pumpkins. I don't eat them, but well, I won't say I don't eat them. I just, you know, if I grow them, I grow them. If I don't, I don't. But I think I went, oh, that's a good reason to grow them for the seeds. I need them for the seeds. And if I do get in the habit of start making pumpkin pies, I can do that too because I have the tools to do it with the blender and the food processor and the, cooking it and getting a fresh pie out of it. I don't, I like sweet potato pies, my favorite, but I definitely will eat a pumpkin pie. And that being said, I am the morning gardener. I don't know why I said that. I just wanted to say it, but it's just a good deal growing. It makes me happy. Um, it just makes me happy. I mean, I put these seeds in. I got up early in the morning, late afternoon, and and I went ahead and put the seeds in and said, okay, I can't believe I'm done. Now I'm going to ask for some feedback. I already know pretty much what the answer is, but I'm going to start. I'm going to start. I'm doing fine, and you, because I think what I'm going to do is start my corn indoors this year because uh, it's just fun to do, really. Start the corn indoors, get them growing, and then when I put them out onto the property, put about inch, inch and a half of pure, beautiful compost around it. It cost me $0. I like that, which I got from the tree cutters. And when the tree cutters cut trees and they want to leave that stuff, I love it because I get that and I go, got me some fertilizer. All I do is leave it setting there for 1 year. That's what I do. I got that from Food Forest Permaculture. I like that idea of letting them wood chips set for 1 year. I did it years ago. How much corn you growing? How much corn am I growing? As much as I can get in the ground. I'm just being honest with you because corn is so good. My favorite corn is peaches and cream. Yeah, peaches and cream. Now I went to Walmart and I got something called this time around. I just got one pack of peaches and cream, and I got another pack of something that just says sweet corn. And I bought that at Walmart. So I said, okay, peaches and cream. Peaches and cream is expensive, and now I am looking at getting the corn started. And see, now what I could do, a lot of you know that I don't dig in my garden. And if you are a cheaper person or a cheap person, um, and you do like I do, like I needed some more grapevines. I didn't do anything but cut uh, grapevines from my winter dormant plant singular. And the reason why I did that is because I said, wait a minute, I keep going online looking for a certain kind of um, grape, but I don't know how to taste. And I hate grapes that have thick skins on them. Those I think are more suited for, I don't know, bacon. I know they're suited for making wine and stuff, but I don't want to be eating grapes that have thick skins on them. So they had this one grape called Neptune, and it's white, and the way they described it on the site, which was Stock Brothers, um, and it said large white grape. Well, large to you may be small to me. And I thought about that. I said, wait a minute. Everywhere I'm going and looking around and trying to research this grape, no one's calling it large but Stock Brothers. They're the only ones calling it a large grape. Even addressing it, saying large grape. Now, I need some more trees. I lost a peach tree called a Hale Haven. A lot of you know about that. It's a very popular peach. So what I'm going to do is I said, wait a minute, the heck with that. It don't have to be a Hale Haven. I got a tree back that's growing real tall, about 18, 20 feet tall. It's got one shoot up there. Now I'm getting ready to do some work in um, um, cutting the trees down to a height where I could reach everything. But that one piece that's on there, I'm going to save it because I'm going to air layer it. Once I air layer that branch, I'm going to stick it in the ground, remove the peach tree that died, and put in a Alberta, which is a class act, all in its own peach class act, which is Alberta. And I mean, yeah, Alberta, yeah, it's a class act, all on its own. It's nothing but quality here. That's what it is. So, um, and I think what I'm going to do is put in an extra um, Alberta because I have the ability to do it. Now, think about this for a second. To start an extra peach tree, and it doesn't cost me one well, it did cost me a thin dime because everywhere you go right now, let me tell you what's going on. Every tree is marked up. The expensive trees used to be cheap. They used to be $10 a tree. They went to 25, and now they're up to 60 and 70. Some places selling trees for $250, but they're larger trees, of course. Um, Miss Sue Miller, hello, how you doing? All right, from Michigan. Hello from Michigan. Yes. I'm gonna ask you a couple minutes how the weather is around in Michigan. We had some rain up here today, but I'm getting now when I air layer the trees branches, it will produce a standard tree. It also is going to act like it's an older tree because of where it came from. So instead of waiting years and years and years to get a tree to grow up and mature and everything, these trees are already producing. So when I take the branches off of them, they're already in that mode. They get the same genetics, the same tree. And once it roots and establishes itself, it's going to start trying to produce probably a year from now or 2 years from now. It's going to start trying to give me peaches. Those are Alberta peaches. And I got another benefit of air layering, which is I have one apple tree, one of my apple trees that is a, oh God, what do they call it? It is a apple tree that's called a pink lady. And it's only one. If it dies, if it gets sick, if something eats the roots off of it and it dies, I'm out of a tree and I'm going to pay top dollar to get another one to replace it. And I'm going to have to wait years because those trees are only um, at the most 2 years old. But the ones that I'm producing from air layering, they're 5 and 6 years old. So the branches off of them are 5 and 6 years old. So when you put them in the ground, it's a win-win. That's what it is. And I'm going to remember that. So I'm going to take two apple trees, put them together about 1 inches apart or 2 feet apart. They're going to be close. They're going to be close because all my trees, some of them now are 21 inches apart. Let me tell you about that. When I put them 21 inches apart, they produce blossoms faster than the ones that are planted singular by themselves. They are not blossomed yet. They're healthy. It's just now leafing out. Now we got some good rain today, and that will help those trees. So um, I'm waiting on the trees to start giving me fruit. I got lots of blossoms on my apple trees this year. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I took a chainsaw out there and started hacking away at the top of what they call I gave them a crew cut. Um, and they call it topping your trees. And when I topped my trees, they started producing blossoms because they were sending all that energy up there. And when you chop off a tree, it signals that tree to start trying to produce because it thinks it's being killed. It's not thinking, but it's designed to react in a way that causes the tree to respond by producing more trees. And it's producing more trees because the whole thing about something that's alive, its whole purpose is to survive. That's it. And that's what happened. So when I hit it with that chainsaw and what they call topped it off, I had a cherry tree that never blossomed before. I blossomed this year because of that. I had apple trees that blossomed more because they were topped off. So I said, wait a minute, there's something sweet to this tea. And I said, huh. So lots of trees, lots of work to be done. They got to be brought down to 6 feet. They have to be. And the trees that I'm getting that I want to air layer, think about it. Their whole function um, will be to grow standard trees, which can get about 25 to 30 feet tall. But you can keep them down to 6 feet, 5 feet if you want to. It's up to you. And you got to stay on the what do we call that? You got to stay on the pruning. That's the only difference. You got to stay on the pruning. You must prune the tree. And today I kept thinking about one thing. Let me see what's going on. So what's this here? Growing any tomatoes? Yes. Yes, I am growing tomatoes. I'm growing one called beef steak, and the other one is called a it's some old seeds I had, and they're called Roma tomatoes. Not really a tomato person, but you got to remember things are going to get tight, and you might have friends and family that can use tomatoes, and so that's how that works. So I'm looking at just all up in here, total survival mode because things are getting funny. Now we went through COVID, still here, but things are, and then we got this war that's going on all over the place. Everybody's fighting. Every country is fighting, getting into it over resources, over wealth, and that's what it's over. And the countries that these people live in, and here too, are saying, "Oh, we're innocent. We didn't do anything to any of these people. I don't know why they're doing this to us." And when you read the fine print, it says the fine print says smoking may cause health problems. When you read the fine print, I've been watching you for several years. Oh my goodness! Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm still obsessed with getting lots of food that's fresh. Because see, I got hooked, and the first thing I got hooked on is years ago. I planted tomatoes and cucumbers. Once I did that, I was hooked. That's all there's to it. Let me show you all something here. Just hold on for 1 second. I'm gonna go get a potted plant. I want to show you something. Let me get my phone out of the way. I just don't like sitting on my phone. It might break it. I see people with their phone in their back pocket, and I said, "Wow, that could snap in half their phone." Okay, all right. Here's what we got. Oh, there it is. This plant cost me. These plants, excuse me. Some of them died, some of them didn't. But that's just part of gardening. These are small, and they've been fed, watered, and everything. I do let them dry out a little bit occasionally. These are beefsteak tomatoes. I don't grow them pretty. I don't grow them fast. I put them in early enough. And what's affecting a lot of these plants is the area where I have them at. It's not always 75 degrees, 80 degrees. It's not. It's sometimes it gets a little cool at night, and I'm at work, and and I have my I go to my phone and check the temperature of my house, and I let it go around, around, around. That's my house. Well, not actually my house, but yeah, that's my house. And then I hit here, and it says it's 73 degrees in this house. That's what it says up at the top of the circle. So if it's cold, I simply hit this button, turn on the furnace. There's a furnace right there at 71. Okay. So I try to keep the house warm even though I'm at work because plants don't like it when it get real cold. These type of plants don't like it when it get cold. And then I cut it off and I keep working at my job. So um, those tomato plants will go in the ground and produce me pounds of tomatoes. Those seeds cost me $2. There's still some more in the pack. So I do it this way because I don't see why I got to go give somebody $5 at the box store for one single plant. I can't do that if I have other means of getting it done. I can't do that. I've had lots of ladies and over the years, you cheap. You are so cheap. God, you're cheap. You're cheap. Did I mention that you were cheap? You know, like that. And so that's okay. That's okay. Here's another thing I want to show you. A house plant I've had for well over 20 years. It was given to me by my mother. That's the reason why I kept it. Can I reach it? I'll try. Now, this all wasn't like this. All this is growing healthy. I don't know what. I cut it up, and let me get this one dying leaf off. I don't believe in letting died leaves that died stay on. And these are getting ready to be potted off into different pots, but they're free. So I had one plant. Now I had one plant, and now I will take these plants. I will take these plants. Let me get that off. There we go. And I will put them in different pots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 8. Oh, wow. These are hungry plants. They drank up all the water that's in the bottom with their feed in it. Let's see. Running plants. Oh, that's what they're called. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know that. I never knew that. Yeah, running plants. That's what they call. Folks, they call running plants. And let me go get, you have to excuse me. I'm going to go get some water for this real quick because I can't let this plant be hungry and thirsty. I'm back. Now I'm going to tell you what I do from South Africa. Thank you so much. I got some knowledge today, folks, on this plant here. I never knew what it was. I just knew that my mother gave it to me, and I want to try to take care of it. Okay, let me see something. Can I get this to stand back up where it was? It's in a cup, so I'll wait until I get offline before. I don't want to spill this. This is expensive plant food. Okay, there we go. I got it to stand up. So here's what happened. The best plant food in the world for a house plant, to me, is Miracle-Gro. It just is. It has a small scoop, and it says, "Here's how you see them in hospitals." Oh, you see them in hospitals. Okay, okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for that knowledge right there. I appreciate that so much. It just goes to show, even though my head is real big, it still doesn't know everything. Thank you so much. So here's what happened. These plants, I want to say these particular plant foods, Miracle-Gro to me is expensive. It's that simple. So they got a knockoff that Walmart created. It is right here for houseplants and all. That's what I put in my houseplants. I don't know why I put so much. I have 2 of these, same size. It'll take 40, 50, 50, 60, 70 years to use all this. And the only thing I don't like about it is they were a little cheap on the cup that they made. What is this? 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. See, it's got little marks inside the cup, which I don't like. I like the way that the actual Miracle-Gro does it. On the other end is a teaspoon, and tablespoon is the big one. So you just use the back end on Miracle-Gro, and they probably didn't use that because they got a patent on it or something. But anyway, it's easy to operate. This here you got to look in there and see if you know, oh, okay, is that line? Is that line? Because I don't like to go over on this food. This stuff is nasty when you add too much. You add too much, it can kill stuff. And look at the size of these bags. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought it was. It's. I thought it was on sale because it was rock hard, but it's not. Now, and so these are 4 big bags in here like this. And these 4 big bags will last me forever. But they were cheaper than Miracle-Gro. And when you look at the numbers, here's what you look at. Numbers right there. Can you see that? Can some of you see that? Can you see it? Where my finger's pointing? I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? And that is 24% nitrogen. Now, nitrogen, we all know, is responsible for luscious green growth. Ah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for helping out. See, they put it up there. They said, okay, got it, sir. We saw it. And that's 24%. 24% is nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. I think I'm saying that right. So number 8 is the middle number. Number 16 at the end is mostly for like your root growth and all of that, and also blossoms. So when I looked at that and saw, I said, wait a minute, this box looks like the Miracle-Gro box. It also got the exact same numbers as the Miracle box. It also has the exact same amount of product in it as the Miracle-Gro. I said, I'm buying this. Why would I want to buy a brand name? For what? The plants don't know the difference. And so now that my plants are happy and growing, and once these tomato plants here put on their true leaves, they will be fed that until they go outside. Hardening off your plants, easy as pie to do. Bring them out the first time in a shaded area for about 35, 40 minutes. The first day, bring them back in. Bring them out the next day for an hour, same shady area, about an hour. Bring them back in. And I mean bring them in. Don't leave them out there because you'll come back and they'll be like this because you left them out there. They're not, the temperature, the heat, well, I just said temperature, that equates to heat, but the sunlight and all that, it can, these plants are so freaking tender. Do you still have cherry trees? Now that's a good question. I have 1, 2, 3. One got killed by vines. Well, no. Let me reiterate that. I think it's dead because all over the top of the complete top of it is covered with just weedy vines, and it happened like that because I was been doing some things last year and I couldn't get to it, and you know. But I got to tell you, let's see, we're starting to get more and more insects outside now that the weather's starting to break. We're starting to get bees, and we're starting to get flies. We're starting, you name it, they're coming. But I was so happy this year to see the honeybee flying around. we do not see them anymore. That's scary. We don't see them anymore. We got the bumblebee and we got the wasp and all that that's landed on a lot of our plants, and that's just insane. That's just insane. But I got to tell you, it's a good feeling to get back to the garden. And one time I had all this growth in my yard, and it felt like being in a park. And I would stand out there in the middle of the yard, and I would say, "Wow!" I would say, "Feel the trees, um, feel the grass growing, and all the food that's everywhere." I'm even growing stuff that I don't normally eat. Like I put in 3 containers of what you call that, cucumbers. Has anyone ever tried to grow watermelons? I've been growing watermelons for years. This time I'm doing something a little different. In the same hole, I'm putting 2 seeds in. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you didn't grow any. I'm growing 2 seeds in the same hole. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to see if it works. If it doesn't work, a lot of us stop doing things in the garden because what we think, oh, it won't work because I went and looked at all the videos on YouTube and it doesn't show anyone doing that, or it doesn't. There's no information on it, or maybe it's just too much on the soil. And everyone tells you, for the most part, how to grow something. And when they tell you how to grow something, they make it sound like this is the only way it can be done. The only problem I have with that is they say it's the only way it can be done. What they should say is that this is how I do it. This is how I was taught to do it. Because there's so many ways of growing things. There's so many ways. The gentleman, a lot of you know, Broke Farmer. Broke Farmer got a lot of trees on his property. I saw the video. He got a lot of trees. It's just small, but I don't know where he got them from because I don't think he talked about that. Or I might have missed it. But I wanted to see him talk about where did he get it? What did he pay him for these trees? Because it helps out other people when they find out. Okay, oh, he found a place that they sell them for $15 a piece, or he found a place to sell them for $30. All of it helps. It's like a network. I try to always mention what something costs because it helps others say, "Oh, I can afford that. I'm gonna go look for that." Or I can afford that. I'm gonna go get something tomorrow. I think this box of fertilizer cost me $7. You go to a box store like Lowe's, and you get a box that size of Miracle Grow is about 13, maybe $14. And I said, I don't see it. They used to try to give that stuff away. It should be in the store for $7, uh, six something. And now that you're trying to grow food, they up the price on it. They up the price on that. And they say, well, I don't want to grow with synthetic fertilizer. Uh, Sorry to say it, but all of it's chemical. Even the manure, it's a chemical. It has the properties of a chemical. The same thing goes for compost. If you were to break it down in a laboratory, it has certain chemical makeup. Um, but I look at things like you got to try to grow the food as fast as you can, get it up and going, and that's important because you can't wait around all year for plants to be growing slow and trying to catch up and all that. You can't afford to do that. You need to start them at the right time, whether it be in a greenhouse or in mine is growing inside. I got a nice greenhouse area in my house. I haven't used it this year, but I have it there if I need it. It has lights, it has heat mats and everything. So you use all this equipment to speed up the process. Once you get the process down and they start poking through the ground, you cut the heat mat off. Cut it off, unless you want long, lanky plants. Then you bring down the light about that far away from the tops of your plants. And when you do that, they're getting enough light. If you use shop lights, um, and the right size shop lights, you will get uh, stuff to grow faster. Now, faster than the speed of light, no, you don't want that. But you do want them to grow fast enough so you know that when you start getting up around 3 months, 4 months, when the year get ready to close out and start getting cooler, you want to make certain that you have it already done. A lot of the stores in my location really and truly dropped the ball this year on every gardener in the immediate area where I live. They brought in all these plants that it was too cold to put them there. Let's see. Are you still having a stockpile of fertilizer and about this you bought on clearance? Oh God, that was. I still have the fertilizer. I want to tell everybody about this because you'll get the thing of it when I tell you. I bought $9 and $10 bags for $2, $2.50. Some of them were 97 cents. And the reason why, because I actually called the company and I wanted to know why was this being sold like this. He said we changed the bag design. That was it. They changed the bag design and they were selling it. Now see how many people I got in this room watching now? That's a good thing because it gives me the idea that maybe I should stay online and help people. But one time, uh, you want home you went Home Depot. Yeah, that's where you go at. Um, but you want to go ahead and make certain and 100% that you bought things at a discount. I mean, I couldn't turn that down. Fertilizer was 97 cents. I wish I had some on up here. Well, this bag here, $50. Now this bag, you go to the store and try to buy that and try to hand them $5 to hand it back to you. Try to hand them $6 to hand it back to you. So you start getting around $8 to $9. Now you can get it. I'm not paying that. These right here was about $2.50 a bag. $2.50 a bag. I also have a big, huge pile of compost in the yard, courtesy of the wood cutters in my neighborhood. When they had it, I said, "Can you dump here?" He said, "Yes." And they dumped. I left it there for 1 year. Does it look all that appealing in the yard? Further back, no. Gotta love wood chips, absolutely. Because number one, it's free. Number two, it's an excellent fertilizer. I mean, excuse me, excellent soil amendment. And they're giving it away free. And now they're giving it away free. Someday it may charge you for it. But we'll see what happens with that. I used to keep their number on my phone so I could always call them and say, "Hey, look, if you're in this area, could you, keep me in mind?" And they say, "Sure." I need them to call me a day ahead of time so that I can make preparations to get. I think this year I'll be making tea because I am far from a store. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with tea. Tea is great. Tea also helps you. Everybody knows it helps you extend what you do have. It helps you extend what you do have. Um, you take a little bit of even if you had manure like rabbit, something like that. You could take that and make some tea out of that. Horse manure, I don't know how hot, because it's hot when he first lays it, and you can't use that for quite a while. And I used to put them inside of a sock and drop them down in the water. And I didn't put no boiler on them and nothing like that. I put them there, and I put them there. And when I did that, finally got that little moth. I had to get him because he was irritating me. This year that fertilizer got really expensive this year. It just got really expensive. Um, I do try to use weeds. Let me tell you something I'm doing a little different now. I take the weeds, and I have a lawnmower that has a bagger on the back. I go through and cut the weeds and the grass and everything, and then I put them around each plant, and I let them simply control the soil temperature, fertilize the plant, and keep moisture around the plant. That's what I do. It's a better deal than making the stinky tea, and it's just more work. So I said, no, it's got to be an easier way. The the tea is good. Don't get me wrong, but I like cutting it with the lawnmower and putting it around the plant. It decays. It is gone in no time, and it really helps your plant out. It keeps the weeds from growing right up onto your plants. And think about it. You're using weeds to fight weeds. That's just smart. Chop and drop. Love it. Do it all the time. Chop and drop. Love it. I have soil that's so pretty. It should be in a beauty contest. But that came from years of chop and drop, years of putting down wood chips. You lay the wood chips right on top and leave it there. Don't do nothing to it. Don't try to dig it in or none of that. I made that mistake before with leaves. Was digging them in, and it just locked up all the nitrogen in the soil for that year. Another thing is use as many resources around you. Um, use as many resources around you because I'm telling you, your yard has more uh, things that it can be used to help your garden that you might not at the time have thought about. When you trim your trees, all the branches that come off can be used. Some people just stack them behind their fruit trees and they slowly go back into the ground. Some people put them over in the compost pile and they dump a little dirt on top of the branches. That'll rot down the branches and turn them into compost. Um, and and a lot of what you need is already on your property. The weeds can be cut with the lawnmower. That makes a lot of fertilizer for your soil and for your plants. That is just that simple. When you pull your weeds up, I mean, when you pull your plants up to eat tomatoes and eat tomatoes, and you get the corn and you eat the corn up, take that stuff, pull it up, lay it down, and let it go right back into the soil. I do that every year. When I get out there, the okra plants are gone, the corn stalks are gone. Every plant that I put in the ground is gone. Where did it go? Back into the ground. Back into the ground. I have a bird's nest in one of my trees, and I was told by a good friend, Food Flowers Permaculture, keep let the bird have that nest. Don't rip it down. I don't know what kind of birds in it though. I'm not good with knowing species of birds. See, I have pea and grass clippings and leaves. Okay, well, let's fertilize it. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you do not have to, if you want to start a garden, you do not actually have to buy fertilizer. You only buy fertilizer because of the nice, colorful bags. This is actually farm waste. That's all it is. It's farm waste. They found a way to sell it. It does help plants to grow. And they stuck a, they've convinced so many of us that you need to have this fertilizer in order to grow the world's best tasting tomatoes, or the world's biggest tomato, or the world's biggest watermelon, or the best tasting melons. You don't. Plants don't know the difference. As long as they're getting the right amount of nutrients that they need to survive, that's all they know. They don't know where it came from, Walmart, or if it came from pea and leaves and grass clippings. They don't know the difference. Well, folks, I've been talking now for 46, 47 minutes. I'm pretty much all talked out. So until again, we get a chance to do it again. This has been the Morning Garden Show, and you got a chance to be part of my first show. That I got my little sign here. How do you like the sign there? You like it, or does it matter at all? Is it a good sign? Does it give you any information if you first showed up here that you didn't have it first? I don't know, but I had to get it because it was a good price, and I said, why not? All right, this is the Morning Garden Show. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I really mean that, and just live long and prosper. Just take care and have a good day. This is the Morning Garden.